Oh my god, you guys, oh my god, I have the iPhone 16 in my heads. Well, I don't. This is the iPhone 15 Pro Max. I was fooling you, I'm sorry. But the iPhone 16 Pro Max, 16 Pro, they will look the same as the iPhone 15 Pro. That's why I'm making this joke. So, yeah, let's talk about the newest rumors about the iPhone 16s. By courtesy of Apple Track's channel, now we got the first look at the iPhone 16. And I gotta tell you, it looks very similar to the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max. That's normal. Apple won't be changing the design this year. Doesn't make any sense. The big redesign was the iPhone 15s. Now, they will just keep using the same design, improving the camera system, improving the display, improving all the other components. But the design is set for the next few years. And so it's normal that the iPhone 16 will look the same as the iPhone 15. But that doesn't mean we won't be getting any new hardware. According to leaks, we are getting a new button to the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max. So, if you are excited to these leaks, drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel, roll the intro. For obvious reasons, I gotta tell you, take all of these leaks with a huge grain of salt. We are still in January, like 9 months away from the release of the iPhone 16. Apple hasn't even finished the design, even finished the product. So, all the things that we hear right now are just leaks, rumble, are just predictions. Let's use the word predictions, because everything can change until the iPhone 16 launches. But according to leakers, now we are getting a new capture button to the iPhone. Different from the action button, the capture button will be a new button hardware on the iPhone 16, especially for the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. I think this is a distinguish, and Apple is trying to distinguish more the Pro Max model and the Pro model from the normal iPhones. And the capture button will be an essential part of the camera experience of the iPhone going forward. Maybe that's Apple's new way to differentiate the Pro lineup from the normal iPhones. But that's not it. The iPhone 16 and 16 Plus, the normal iPhones, will also get a new button. According to leaks, we are getting action button on these iPhones, which I think it's very hollow, because I don't use the action button that much, and I don't think the action button is that useful. For example, I have it on my iPhone 15 Pro Max, and in the last 3 months and a half, 4 months since I bought this iPhone, I've used the action button like 3 times, twice, not more than that, which is very irrelevant for a feature that Apple announced as being one of the biggest features for the iPhone 15 Pro Max. The action button was a cool quirk, never used it. I know there's a lot of people that use the action button for a lot of things, and for those people, I'm grateful that Apple will launch it on the iPhone 16 and 16 Plus. And maybe that now Apple is going to launch it on the normal people's iPhones, and maybe with more users, developers will make more apps for the action button. But still, I don't see how good could this feature be. I don't know, it just doesn't feel like a big one. Yes, you can turn it on into the silence mute button, like before. You can put it on the camera shutter, like the capture button, so it actually becomes redundant having the action button and the capture button set it up for the same thing. So you can create shortcuts for the action button, but at the end of the day, why? Like, yes, it's cool to enter your home, click the action button, and boom, you just turn on all of your lights. Or click the action button and your front gate opens. Or, I don't know, click here and lock your car on a Tesla. It's cool, it works, but for some people, it's really useful. For me, I don't really care. But that feature coming to the iPhone 16s, for those that like it, well, rejoice, you are getting the action button. As for the design of the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, as I was telling you, this is not going to change. The same contour edges, the same frame, the same titanium frame, probably new colors or not. We always get a new color every year, so maybe Apple is keeping the natural titanium color, the black, the silver, and instead of the deep blue that we got this year, maybe Apple is going to change it, purple or Sierra blue again, I don't know. Green, I'm not sure. But we are getting a new shade of titanium this year with the iPhone 16, for sure. You can trust me on that. And then everything is going to be the same. The camera bump design is set for the future. Apple is not changing this stove-top design for the camera in a long time, and I don't think they will. For example, Apple only used to use the camera bump design for 2 years. iPhone 4, iPhone 4S, iPhone 5, iPhone 5S, iPhone 6, iPhone 6s, and then the iPhone 7, iPhone 8, then the iPhone 10, and then the iPhone 10s, Then they use the iPhone 11 Pro camera bump with the iPhone 12 Pro, with the iPhone 13 Pro, 14 Pro and 15 Pro now. So for the last 5 generations of iPhone, we have got this camera bump. And the leakers are saying that the camera bump on the iPhone 16 is going to be the same. So do not expect any changes on that regard. But on the iPhone 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max, although the camera bump is not going to change, we are getting a new ultra-wide lens. This is a 48 megapixel ultra-wide, which is going to enable you to take incredible ultra-wide shots with so much more resolution than before. So yeah, that's a pretty cool feature. Now our ultra-wide camera is going to be more on par with the main sensor, so it's going to be more useful for those worst lighting conditions, or even for taking a group photo, landscape photography. Having an ultra-wide lens for video also is very, very important. But I do believe Apple's plans are bigger. I do believe that by adding a 40 megapixel ultra-wide sensor to the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max, all the spatial video features are getting better. Yes, the iPhone 15 Pro and Pro Max can take spatial video, and spatial video will be the big feature of the Apple Vision Pro combination with the iPhone. And giving the same sensor present on the iPhone 15 Pro Max main sensor probably to the ultra-wide camera, so giving the 40 megapixel treatment to the ultra-wide. If you don't know, when you are filming spatial video, you use the main sensor and the ultra-wide sensor to record 2 different feeds at the same time, and then combine them together to create the spatial video, the 3D awareness of the camera. And currently we have a 40 megapixel sensor and a 12 megapixel sensor, so the video footage is not the same 48 megapixel video footage. It's a 48 with a 12 megapixel, and so the video ends up being like a 12 megapixel video or even a 24 megapixel video. But Apple's now adding the 48 megapixel ultra-wide sensor on the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max. So I do believe they are increasing the quality of the spatial video. Maybe now it's not going to be 1080p, but now increasing to the 4K capabilities of the iPhone, 4K at 30 frames per second. That would be pretty cool. Currently with the 15 Pros, you are locked at 1080p, I think. So yeah, improving the ultra-wide camera is a very welcome feature for me and every photographer, but I do believe for the masses it's going to be more of spatial video feature. Then of course, the iPhone 16 Pro is getting the 5x telephoto present on the iPhone 15 Pro Max, and the iPhone 16 Pro Max is rumored to have an even bigger telephoto. But this leak, I wouldn't trust it that much. I don't think Apple is going to increase or at least double telephoto again next year. According to rumors, or at least some rumors, Apple could be putting a 10x on the 16 Pro Max, but I don't think that's true. I think that's very far away, still 1-2 years until Apple again improves the telephoto on the Pro Max model or even the Pro model. So at the end of the day, yeah, some camera improvements, but no changes to the Pro models. As for the normal iPhone 16s, the big feature will be spatial video. Currently, the iPhone 15 and 15 Plus cannot record spatial video because of the camera alignments. Yes, the ultra-wide camera and the main camera, the cameras that record spatial video, they are aligned on a diagonal. So you have the main sensor here and the ultra-wide sensor here on the normal iPhone 15s. On the next iPhone 16, we are going to have this camera, just like this. Let me see if I can show you. There you go. So the main sensor on the top and the ultra-wide on the bottom. Focus here. Kind of tough. So the main sensor on the top, the ultra-wide on the bottom. Just like the iPhone 12s like before. Now this is going to change everything because you will be able to record spatial video. And again, Apple Vision Pro launches this January, so it's very important that the next year's iPhone is able to record spatial video. This is going to be the future of Apple, spatial computing, and the iPhone needs to be on top of that. So as much people that can record spatial video as possible, better for the Apple Vision Pro ecosystem. So again, this is going to be a big change on the iPhone 16s. Heading up spatial video, probably with the biggest change to the normal iPhones. Other than that, these iPhones are not receiving anything more. USB-C 3.0, nope. 120 Hz, nope. Titanium, nope. They are going to have the same design, the same aluminum frames, the same USB-C 2.0 speeds, the same dynamic island, the same 60 Hz display. Nothing is going to change. So this is going to be a very small upgrade. The screens are still going to be a 6.1 inch and a 6.7 inch OLED display with 60 Hz. But the iPhone Pro models are going to change. This is the first time in a while that Apple is going to change the screen sizes of the iPhones. The iPhone 16 Pro is going to be a 6.3 inch iPhone, and the Pro Max is going to be a 6.9-inch iPhone. So be ready for the jokes, and of course, be ready for a 7-inch iPhone. This is huge. This is crazy. Apple is just not going to decrease the bezel size like they did before to increase the screen size. No, Apple is going to increase the size of the phone by about 10%, which is huge. They will get more space to increase the battery size and so improve battery life. They will get more space to put better cooling on the iPhone, which is really necessary. So I think it's a win-win situation for Apple. As for the consumer getting a bigger screen than before, I don't know. The iPhone 15 Pro at 6.1 inches was the perfect size. That iPhone was even smaller than the iPhone 14 Pro, and it had the smallest bezels ever. Apple made almost the perfect Pro Mini iPhone. That was the iPhone 15 Pro. Now, the 16 Pro is going to be 6.3 inches bigger than the current iPhone 15 Pro. So, if you value the smallest iPhone possible, but you still want a Pro model, the iPhone 15 Pro is a really, really good buy. As for the 16 Pro and 16 Pro Max again, they are going to increase 0.2 inches to the screen. So again, I'm going to repeat myself, the iPhone 16 Pro, 6.3 inches. The iPhone 16 Pro Max is going to be 6.9. What do you think? Let me know of that in the comments down below. And of course, the iPhone 16 Pro and Pro Max this year, or next upgrade, will be a bigger upgrade than the current iPhone 15 to the iPhone 16. I think that next year's is going to be a focus on the Pro models. This year, Apple also focused a lot on the normal iPhones. Next year, it's 100% on the Pro models. But I think it will be a smaller upgrade than it was from the iPhone 14 to the 15. The iPhone 15 upgrade was a huge one. Titanium, action button, USB-C, better screens, way better cameras. Oh my god, log recording. So much new features to the iPhone 15 Pro Max and 15 Pro that it changed everything. This is the first iPhone that I think this is truly, truly Pro. And next year's iPhone is going to be the same. So I'm super, super excited. In terms of improvements to the main camera of the Pro models, nothing. In terms of improvements to the dynamic island size, I don't think it's this year. I think it's on the iPhone 17. But Apple Track talked about putting the 3D mapping for Face ID behind the screen, just putting the camera on the screen, so you will be having a whole-sized notch, so a dynamic island with a whole-sized notch. I don't know if it's happening this year. Ross Young hasn't said anything. As for Apple Track, they made all the renders. Sam Cole, you're amazing. And I think he had help from another channel, another 3D renderer, but amazing job, Apple Track. Amazing job on the renders. I'm not sure we are getting this dynamic island with the iPhone 16. It could happen, but I'm not so sure about it. As for dynamic island itself, I think we need more features for next iOS, especially on iOS 18. We need more dynamic island features, and Apple needs to make a push for more features under the developers. But let me know in the comments down below which is your favorite leak for the iPhone 16s. Is the capture button? Is it the better ultra-wide camera? Is it spatial video for the iPhone 16s? Is, I don't know, the 5x telephoto for the iPhone 16 Pro? Let me know which is your favorite feature. While you're there, do not forget to drop a like down below, subscribe to the channel. Thank you guys for watching. Bye bye.